Hello friends, I'm Marilyn from tarotclarity.com and I'm here to do a side-by-side comparison between the Tarot of Paris, which was published by the National Museum of France. This is, if any of you probably have the Tarot of Paris, you have probably this one. And this one, which is a recent publication, put out by the Museum of Tarocchi, or the Tarot Museum in Italy. So there are, two different countries' presentations of national presentations of a deck. The one that we're more familiar with comes in a typical, small deck, small box, and it has reasonably typical little white book, which is in French, and typical inserts, like presentation title page kind of thing, right? One's in French with English on the bottom. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, sorry for the lack of focus here. Here we go. And this one is, a much more grand presentation in a beautiful box. They bothered to number, out of 200 copies. I think I have 17. Comes in a velveteen pouch with a book. The first half in Italian and the second half in English. So it's a lovely presentation. Both decks are thick for a tarot deck. I mean, the smaller publication, from France is still a thick deck, but when you compare it to this one from Italy, you see how much thicker the Italian presentation is. Now I didn't read the English portion of the Italian publication, but it seems as though it just begins with the trump cards and not with an introduction of, anything about the history of the deck. The backs of the decks are very dissimilar. This sort of has like an Aztec looking design to it. This one is a bit more typical to the time. And let's start. You can see how much larger. It's kind of hard to do this, so sorry. Yeah, you see that the cardstock is quite different in size, and the Italian production is very high quality, textured watercolor drawing paper that's very thick to the point of being cardboard, whereas the French production, is much more typically a playing card stock, which doesn't bother me a bit because after all they are cards. And so here's the Fool. In the cartouche area, or the area where they label the numbers, in the Fool card up here, we see a very elaborate design. In the Italian, it's plain. They both have the beautiful borders. The chess border, the checkered border, rather. I think by looking at it casually like this, the Italian version is a little easier to see what's going on. Let's see. Oop. Number 2. Where's number 1? Oh my, it's a bit out of order here. Okie doke. Oh yeah, you can more clearly see what's happening in the Italian version. And they're a little bigger too, so it's less, it's less difficult to figure out what's happening. Ooh, look at this gorgeous color. I mean, comment below what you think, but it does appear as though the Italian is a bit easier to understand what's going on in the picture. Might be a little bit easier to do a reading with the Italian version. Oh, there's a girl with a... Wow, I never noticed before that she had two... I guess I never paid attention to it or never understood what this thing was, but it clearly in the Italian looks like it's a different colored shoe. I think in the French I might have thought it was part of the background somehow. The Emperor. He's not called the Emperor here. I'm not really sure what the translation is. Le Peru. The Pope. It's plural in these, the Lovers. Oh, here you can much more clearly understand that this is a swan. Two swans, of course, for the Chariot. Justice. Hermit. Fortitude. I have always loved the Tarot of Paris, and so when I saw that the Italian Museum, it's the Tarot Museum in Italy, created, published a version, I was like, yeah, I gotta get that. Gotta get that, because I know that the Italian Museum, or the Tarot Museum in Italy, puts out quality tarot decks, so I knew I couldn't go wrong. And I already loved this deck that was already put out by the National Museum, the National Library of France, so I knew I wouldn't go wrong. Now this one has always been kind of hard for me to figure out what's going on. Let's see. It's a bit easier to understand. It's like a card of chaos and calamity. Just so beautiful, huh? And this is another very abstract, it's almost like looking at a Picasso. excuse me, for coughing. Lovely. Wow, look at this Judgment. Look at that. That is just gorgeous. So the red of the Italian publication is a bit more bright. And now we come to pip cards. In the Italian deck, they put the batons first. So the Ace of Batons and the Ace of all decks, of all suits, begin with a banner. Someone carrying a banner. So it looks like I have this upside down. Let's see. Yeah. I didn't manipulate the Italian deck, so it's in the order in the upright positions that it came in. So I have to presume this is the correct way, and that my other deck is just been turned upside down because I've used it so many times. And I didn't have it correctly done. The Ace of Cups is next. And so the background of the Italian looks pinkish. And the blues of the Italian are much more jewel-like. Very pretty. Looks like I got this one upside down. My own personal opinion, although I really do love the one by the National Library of France. I do think I prefer the one from the Italian Tarot Museum. I like it because I'm old and the size and the rendering, more distinct rendering makes it a bit easier for me. I mean, I already know what all the cards are. I mean, I know what the cards are, but I enjoy, being able to fully see it. And the colors are a bit more lovely in the Italian. But it doesn't detract from how much I still love this deck. The one from the National Library of France. And now we're on to the Swords, which comes third in the Italian presentation, and I just put the French deck in the same order. I don't remember what order the French had it. Wow. And the final suit is the suit of coin, or denier. Much more festive. The blues are just beautiful in the Italian publication. It's like they filled in the blanks over here. It's not visible here. It's hard to see what's going on in these coins at all. But these are a bit more easy to see. Yeah. Look how lovely the assortment of coins are. I've bought some antique coins. Some of you who follow me may notice that I've done that, that I've bought coins from the, 1500s and 1600s and even earlier than that to try and match them with the coins of a tarot deck. And now that I see some of these coins better defined in the Italian version, I'm going to dig out my coins again to see if there are any that might be in this deck. Anyway, there you have it. Um, I hope you found it instructful, especially if you were thinking of getting the Italian deck. You can't go wrong. It's just a beautiful quality presentation, and, the cards themselves are really beautiful. Until next time, friends, peace.